Hello guys, how are you? Are you a businessman who feels that you're not getting the lead you are expected, don't know how to market your product? Don't worry, we have the right person in our channel. Today we have the CEO of Vox Direct, Garrett Halsell, who is an influential marketer. He will help you to make sure that how you actually get the benefit of marketing. Garrett is specialized in text marketing. He can tell you how text marketing will take your business to the next level. So let's welcome Garrett Halsell to our channel. Hello Garrett, how are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself? How's it going?
Yeah, all well. Let me introduce myself. My name is Arun. I'm
Nice to
the
meet you,
founder of
Arun.
M.Cherry Aleana. That's a UAE based consultant firm. We provide business support.
Okay.
So this is our official channel to provide to motivate people.
Mm-hmm.
So your stories
Wonderful.
always helps the
Yeah.
people to develop themselves.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So Garrett, officially welcoming you and the founder of Vox Direct. Tell me more about Vox Direct.
Sure. So I'm one of the 12 founding members of Vox
Okay.
Direct.
Uh-huh.
And, there's a lot of things that go into what we do.
Uh-huh.
But essentially, to put it simply, we are a unified communications platform,
Uh-huh.
which means that we unite phone, text, and fax in one number. And that helps prevent some problems. But we also have other features that we offer, like virtual receptionists, which are programs, not people. Think press one for sales, two for accounting, et cetera, et cetera. But my specialty, where I focus the most, is text message marketing, because I think it's an overpowered and underutilized marketing channel, right? And so that's my capacity with Vox Direct. That's what we do. We help give small businesses a big voice. But then personally, I also have a public speaking company and an event organizing company that's national across the United States.
Okay. Seriously, I like your caption really well. That is actually you give more buds to people, more sweet seeds. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
fantastic caption.
yeah. So part of that is right now I'm really focusing on restaurants because restaurants have been hit the hardest by COVID, and one of the ways that we kind of talk to restaurants is, hey, do you want more butts and more seats? Because at the end of the day, that's what's really driving their revenue. That's what's really driving them to grow and keep their doors open. And so I like this statement because it's kind of playful, but it also illustrates the idea perfectly. Hey, do you want more butts and more seats? I'll help you do that.
Yeah, definitely. What do you say? You hit the right area. There is no
Yeah.
better caption.
Right, exactly.
See, looking at the Garrett, actually, what I've seen actually when I looked your profile, you're coming from a science background. Am I correct?
Yep.
How was this changeover? Because you are from actually science background, you're totally specialized into marketing,
Yeah.
and you are
It
proven very
was
successful in that.
sure.
Tell me more about that.
Yeah, it was a big jump. So I went to college for kinesiology. That's what I started with. And halfway through, I decided to stop kinesiology. I didn't want to be a physical therapist or a personal trainer, and so I instead switched over to general science. And then before I graduated, I got into a aerospace technology company, and I did chemical engineering for an aerospace technology company, and I did that until I graduated, and then for 2 years after that. Then once I left there, I came to New York, and 2 weeks after I got to New York, I started working with Vox Direct. My brain, so the reason I was in chemical engineering is because chemistry just makes sense in my head. It just does. I don't know why. It just works. But then I also have ADHD, and so my mind, I'm going a million miles an hour all the time, unless I'm heavily medicated. And so when I think about marketing, it's just like, how do I talk to people in the way that they understand things? How can I talk to people in the language that they speak?
Exactly.
And so all I'm doing there is like, I'm going through everything I can as quickly as I can, and I'm thinking of things from every single different aspect or angle that I can, in order to, what are different ways that we could do this? What are different distribution methods? Like, is this going to work? What are different ways that I could write this? Is this the most convincing it could be? And so that kind of plays together with my public speaking, because I competed in speech and debate for 10 years and I've been teaching it for the past 4. So I understand not only how words work, but also how a lot of people think and how to be persuasive and convincing. And so when I pair all of these things together, it kind of lends itself to a methodology that I have in my head of just like, how do I tell people about this in a way that they're going to understand and show them why they need it, right? And so that's what I do to the best of my ability. Yeah.
I totally understand that, because I think you have the right blend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And that I think that was a gift I was given. I didn't consciously think, oh, I'm going to do all these things and then I'll be good at marketing. It was just like, oh, hey, I happen to be good at marketing. I wonder why. Oh, maybe it's because I do all of these things, so it's just I think it was a product of circumstance.
See, why I ask you is that, Garrett, it's not easy to convince people.
No,
it's not at all easy.
No.
And you're doing it pretty well.
Well, I appreciate that. When it comes, like, trying to convince people, it's not easy, but I think that part of it is being in conversation with people that are open to learning, right? And there's a difference between open to learning and being open-minded, because they're not the same things, right? And so my approach is more just teaching. I'm a good teacher. I think I'm a really good teacher, because I've always been able to, like, kind of not regurgitate, but restate information in a way that makes sense to the way that person understands information. So when I build a relationship with my students, when I'm teaching public speaking, I begin to understand how they think. And so I know how to say this concept in a way that they're going to understand it. And the same thing works within sales and marketing. Is if I know the general mindset of a restaurant owner, then I can phrase things, or I can present them in a way that is going to be attractive to a restaurant owner. Or if I want to, like, cater to a different industry, as long as I can kind of understand how they conceptually think and address problems, then I can more effectively communicate with them. Because at the end of the day, that's all that marketing is communication. Yeah, that's it. You need to pick the right clients and you deliver what they want. Yeah. Yep. So what are services you're providing? For which business? Because I've got a couple. Suppose I give you an example of restaurant. Okay, so for a restaurant, that would probably be Vox Direct. That's really where I'm niching myself as of late, because they've been hit the hardest by COVID. And in all honesty, they see effects the most immediately, the most effectively from what we do. And so what I do for a restaurant, let's take a pizzeria, for example, because that'll be a simpler explanation, is we give them a business number, or we can port over the business number that they already have. And then we start doing text message marketing where their customers will opt in and they'll text Gino to this number for a free slice of pizza, right? And when they do that, they're opting in to a subscriber list where now Gino can send them marketing messages to their cell phone. It's like, hey, if you come in on Tuesday, I'll give you 20% off, or I'll give you 50% off, right? So what that does is it drives engagement. And on average, people who redeem offers tend to spend more than they would have if they hadn't redeemed an offer. So even if you give them 50% off, now they're going to justify buying 2 extra slices, which is going to yield you more profit in the end anyway. So that's kind of a short, brief example of what it looks like. But you're able to remarket to your best clients repeatedly, multiple times a month, so that you can make sure that your slow days are no longer slow. You can improve traffic on your slow days, or you can, if you know there's an event coming, you can capitalize on that by letting people know about your promotion, or you can help. There's so many different applications for it for text message marketing specifically. But typically we also save them money on their phone bill too. So there's a number of ways that we integrate with a restaurant, but the core of what I do is to help them keep their doors open using text message marketing. Okay. What you said is right. You are a very good teacher. Awesome. I appreciate that. Seriously, you got a lot of, what do you say, that hardly we have spoken 2 to 3 minutes. You give a complete picture of what is happening inside. So you are a really good teacher. Awesome. I appreciate that.
So, so you'll be providing different personalized services to your clients, right?
So when I'm talking to a prospective client, typically it's like, are we going to talk about this business, or this business? And then based off of that, we'll determine how the conversation goes. So I guess for the sake of this conversation, I'm going to stick with Vox Direct, right? And so I wouldn't talk about my public speaking business. I'd only bring that up in the very beginning. And if they're like, well, I want to learn more about your public speaking business, it's like, we can schedule a call for that another time. We'll take 15 minutes, learn about that. But right now, I like staying on one topic, just because if I talk about too many topics at once, my brain is just gonna I'm gonna waste so much time going on rants. It's better for me to stay on one topic at a time. So typically, when I'm talking to a potential client, it's usually only about that specific business, whether it's Vox Direct or Wine or Win or Known Network.
Okay. So you're normally focusing into text message, right?
That's my favorite thing. That's where I'm a nerd. That's where I'm establishing myself as an expert. In reality, it's only one part of what Vox Direct provides, right? So they provide unified communications, which is essentially taking 6 or 7 different softwares, putting it in one so that a small business owner can have this suite of tools at a low monthly cost, which is an affordable monthly cost, in a simpler and easier to use way, so that they don't have to figure out 6 or 7 different systems. They only figure out one that's already set up for ease of use. And so within that suite, one of the things that we do is text message marketing. That's where I spend most of my time thinking, because almost all of the other things that we offer are fairly straightforward, like voice over IP, or virtual receptionists, or call recording, or voicemail transcription. Those are all really straightforward. Maybe not the virtual receptionist, because you can do some special stuff with that.
Text message, there is always more scope for, I think, what you say, the expansion, right?
Yep.
And you're focusing on that area.
Yeah, that's where I'm doing the most expansion. That's usually what I'm talking to people about. And the reason is because that's the most powerful part of what we offer, right? So when you're talking about other aspects of our service, yeah, we're adding value by saving you money, or adding you features that you didn't have before if you've already got something similar. But nobody who does what we do has text message marketing. They might have SMS, but they don't have the marketing aspects of it. They've got one-on-one. They don't have A2P capabilities. So if someone's switching over to me just because of it's cheaper, really that's not somewhere where I'm doing a lot of work. It's like, hey, do you want $20 off your phone bill? Okay, cool. Here, switch over. That's not a lot of work for me. That's really easy because they already know how to use a phone, and so then they just that's upkeep. But when someone's buying it for me, when someone's buying it for SMS marketing, they're buying my expertise as well. And then I'm teaching them, here's how you get intense and insane ROI on what you're doing, and you start using this service to pay for itself. So it's not a negative expense, it's a positive expense because it pays for itself, right? That's why I love talking about it so much.
I totally understand you. I think you are explaining that how much this text marketing will provide value to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not about the cost. You are stating is something like more of a value to the company.
Yeah. So just kind of to tap off of that, you've got kind of 2 market segments. One is a price market segment where all of the customers in this area, they're only worried about price. They just want to save money, and that's fine. There's a bunch of customers to be had there, and I can make money off of that. But more importantly, they're saving money, right? So they're saving money on their phone bill. Then the other side of the market segment is the value market segment, where they see, oh, this is going to make me money back. I'm going to use this as a tool to grow my business. Whereas the people on this side, they're just like, I need to cut the bleeding. I need to make sure that I'm getting the lowest cost possible. And while, yeah, they could use it to grow, make some money in the process and make more money, that's not their focus. And so they don't usually use it to the fullest extent because they're focused on cost saving or cost reduction. Whereas these people are, how do I make more money? How do I make my money work for me?
They are more futuristic. So
Exactly.
how do you actually convince this short-term people, the customers are actually thinking in a very cost angle? How do you convince them?
Well, with the cost oriented side, all it is like, hey, are you using Nextiva or Ring Central or Uma or 8x8 or whatever the company is? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
are you using this kind of service? They're like, yes. Okay. Do you want to pay this much less? Yes. Okay, cool. Well, I can give you the same things that they do plus a little extra for less money. And then they're like, okay, cool, great, let's switch over. And then it's really straightforward conversation. The other side of that coin is a lot more difficult because there's kind of two types of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's the people that understand text message marketing is extremely effective and extremely strong, and they know it's valuable. Mm-hmm. My job is a lot easier there because instead of selling them on the idea of text message marketing, it's just, hey, here's what we provide. You'll also have access to my expertise, and we're probably going to save you money in the process too. Then it's an easy switch for them. Mm-hmm. But the other side of that is much more difficult because the second type of person is someone who doesn't really understand how text message marketing works. They're like, I don't know if it'll work for my business, or I don't know if I want to do that. It's intrusive, or it's harassing, or it's this, that, the other, all of these objections. So now what I have to do is I have to do two sales. Instead of just saying, hey, use my product because you already know this idea, it's, hey, I need to sell you on the idea that you have a problem. You need text message marketing to grow your business, and I just happen to be the best solution possible. So that my job is really difficult in that circumstance. So I always enjoy having conversations with people that already understand text message marketing, although the majority of my conversations are not like that. So they're a little bit longer of a sales cycle. They take a little bit longer to convert. But at the end of the day, these are the people that are helped more because these guys they already know SMS marketing is good for them. Mm-hmm. It's just, are they going to change provider and get my expertise in strategy on how to make the ROI as high as possible? Mm-hmm. Whereas these guys, they need more help because they don't realize that they have this method of communication. They don't realize that this is an option. They don't realize how much help this is going to be. And so when I give this to people, that's when we see really, really good results. And we see people be able to keep their doors open. Because right now, that's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on helping people keep their doors open, not how do we grow your business. Because most people can't scale right now, not in this environment. Right now, they're focused on survival.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what I try to do. We have this free forever plan. And mm-hmm. So where applicable, what I'll do is I'll say, hey, let's use this free service to get to make you enough money to afford the first package, which is $39 a month. And then let's use that to get you to the next step so that you can grow to the biggest package. And then you don't have to worry about anything else. And you know, that's good for people who don't want to make the investment. It's slower, yeah. But you know, there are some people, it's like, let's start on the lowest plan. Let's start on the $39 plan and then work our way up. And then there's some people where they just get it. And it's like, let's start with the biggest, let's roll this out. And then, yeah, there you go. And so it really depends on the person in that situation.
You need to handle both customers, both clients.
Yeah, absolutely. Because there's going to come a day where maybe I don't work for Vox Direct. This isn't going to be the rest of my life. And don't get me wrong, I love the company. I adore it. But this is not what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. Eventually, I'm going to open up my own company. And I might still work for Vox Direct, but it's not going to be my baby, you know? And so the people that are coming to me on the value side, they're going to stick with me because they bought it for me. The people that bought for the price aspect, they're going to stay with Vox Direct. And that's great. I'm happy. I'm glad they're keeping the service. The difference is that there's a different relationship dynamic between these two market segments. And this exists elsewhere as well. In any really in any kind of sales or business development position, there are people that are going to choose you as an individual because you built a relationship with them over the product. And then there's going to be a demographic of people that choose the product over you because they're focused on cost reduction or savings or things like that.
Yeah, totally agree. What you said is really right. So, Garrett, one more thing. What do you think how this text marketing will evolve in the future? What kind of changes it might, according to your prediction?
That's a great question. So right now we're seeing text message marketing going mainstream.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's been around since 2000, 2003. Like Crocs in 2003 had a text message marketing campaign. It was pretty cool. And so there have been ups and downs in the history of text message marketing. In 2012, there were a lot of issues where people were doing things that weren't technically illegal, but violated best practices. And so then the TCPA made amendments that went active in 2015 that changed what we can and can't do. And so now people are kind of warming back up to the idea of text message marketing as being effective and non-intrusive. While going forward, I think that 2021, they're going to be the year of the text message, especially with COVID, because it's such a good environment to use text message marketing, since you can't talk to them, since you can't walk in. It's an easy form of communication. You're going to see more services, which is pictures, being able to text pictures. You're going to see a lot more micro content. You know how Gary V, you can text Gary V, and he'll text you. I got a text from him not 15, 20 minutes ago. And he sends this micro content that you don't see on Instagram. We're going to see a big increase in that kind of thing, where creators and influencers are taking their audience off of social media, or they're taking a portion of their following from social media and using that audience to really, really grow their businesses. Then beyond that, I think we're going to see more integrations with our native operating systems. So like Android or iOS. I think we're going to see more chatbots. I think we're going to see more rich messaging services, which is kind of like a chatbot, but it's built into your phone. And so I think that there will come a time where there's a chatbot option for most businesses that they set up, and you just enable it on your phone. Instead of opting in to my marketing messages, you'll just enable it on your phone as a chatbot or something, and then I'll send you marketing messages. So I think the principle will stay the same. I don't know if the platform or the specific pipe is going to be the same. I think we're going to send the same water through the pipe. I just don't know if the pipe is going to stay the same, right? If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. But I truly agree that this is the future. This is the future. Yeah. It's just
absolutely. Yeah, it really is. It really is, because inarguably one of the most important reasons that people use this is because they want to reach out to millennials and Gen Z. Like, you can make a critique on society, you can make a critique on humanity and say, oh, we're glued to our phones way too much, we pay too much attention to our phones, we're on them all the time. It's like, yeah, that's a problem, but a good business person is going to take advantage of that. That's what text message marketing is. Because now you can market to them without them even having to look up.
Surely. See, because I think this COVID has taught us a lot of new ways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's forced us to adapt.
It's always adaptability.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Garrett, that was really fantastic. I thought actually half an hour. See, I didn't know that actually it was actually going like so fast. I wish I could have more time, but I know actually you have a lot of other plans. Sure. Thank you for your fantastic time. I'm sure that your Vox Direct is taken next level. Any plans to go abroad apart from currently any?
Yeah, so right now we're currently licensed in the US, in Mexico, and Canada. We're working on licensing throughout the rest of Latin America, Europe, and eventually to Eurasia and then Southeast Asia. As of right now, our service works all over the world, just in Wi-Fi if you have the Vox Direct app. So we can provide voice over IP services to anyone in the world. You just have to have an American bank account, which it may or may not be feasible. I don't know. the licensing part is where we interact with self-service, right? So we have agreements here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico that we can utilize cell service on your phone and then initiate and receive calls with that cell service. That's the licensing we're trying to secure around the rest of the world. But in terms of like using it over Wi-Fi, we already have permission because we don't need permission for that. So as long as you got the phone number, you can use it. So depending on the case, there could be a possibility of someone outside of those 3 countries utilizing our service. But personally, I'd say wait, because here in the next year or 2, we're probably going to expand to the rest of the world. And that's when it's going to be really, really easy to implement and use.
Yeah, I can see that. I can surely, what do you say that? Yeah, definitely it's going to take the next level. Once that license you got, and obviously Garrett, that was really fantastic. See, you should, first of all, you're an excellent teacher. The way you actually present that communication, that's really terrific. See, I need, because actually this text marketing, I see when I get from your mobile phone, how many actually text messages we are getting, and that is the future.
Yep. It is. And you know, if someone either doesn't want to or can't afford a system that does it en masse, do it. Like if it takes forever, use copy and paste. Like texting is an incredible marketing channel. Just make sure you follow best practices. Make sure that you're being reasonable with it and you're not harassing people, because if you harass people, they'll either block your phone, they'll unsubscribe from your marketing list, or they're going to start leaving bad reviews. You don't want any of those things. So it's best to take good practices, utilize them, even if you don't have an automated system to send mass text messages. So yeah. And there are so many providers. Vox Direct's not the only one. They all have different purposes. So I'm not saying we're the only one or that we are the best on everything. There's some very specific things where we're the best, and that's where we really focus our efforts on. So
definitely. And all the best, very best for that. I know actually that's going to take the next level. Let's see, maybe after 1 year we can have one more interview. So
absolutely.
Seriously, we can always discuss what is the future plans, how we actually went.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm totally open for that. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, surely. Thanks, Garrett. That's really fantastic. And all the best for you in your future plans.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for your valuable time.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night. Wow, that was a lovely conversation. Special thanks to Garrett. You provided us a better understanding of marketing. Viewers, hope you enjoy the video. So, see you then with the next Titan. Until then, this is Arun from M.Cherry Aleana. Bye for now. Thank you.